YouTube, and welcome to my final Sonic Month video! Unless you want to include Mania, but that's not going to be coming out till like September, so you might not want to include it, but whatever! As I've discussed in the past, this is my favorite Sonic game of all time! Sonic Adventure 2! Battle! Chow's multiplayer, being able to play as Dr. Ivor Robotnik! This is just one of my favorite games of all time. I've never thought to myself, what are my 10 favorite games of all time? If I were to do that, I think that this would be on that list. But, there are two storylines, and I love doing collabs, so...
You most certainly do love doing collabs. I know that from first-hand experience.
It's that guy who thought that Fates was better than Awakening!
Whoa, hold on. Chet, what are you doing? Where am I?
We're playing Sonic Adventure 2.
Okay, cool, but, why am I tied up?
'Cause I abducted you.
Why? You still upset that Awakening didn't win the free-for-all?
Technically, yes, but that's besides the point. I just wasn't really sure if you'd want to do this review with me or not.
You told me about Sonic Month a couple of months ago. I said I was really looking forward to this collab.
We're playing Sonic Adventure 2.
Alright, so how are we going to do this? As you can see, I'm a little tied up at the moment.
Well, I'm glad you asked! Sonic Adventure 2 is similar to Sonic Adventure 1 in the fact that you can play with multiple characters, and luckily one of them is not...
I must say Sonic!
No! I don't want it! No! The storyline is cut into two sides. One where you get to play as the dark, edgy characters trying to take over the world, and the hero side where you try and stop them. So, Blazing Knight, I'm gonna let you take the edgy side.
Oh, you want to keep all the fun Sonic levels for yourself, huh?
Oh, it's not that. It's just that I think that anyone who doesn't think that this is the best soundtrack in the series is evil.
Alright, now you listen here, Chet.
So, the stories have 16 missions each, but they don't really correspond with one another chronologically, so what I did was arrange a timeline, and this story begins with who's gonna win, knowing the danger lies within.
I was rather surprised by Iron Gate, not because it's an outstanding level or anything, but rather that the game starts out with mech shooting. Where's my high-speed platforming? I thought I was playing a Sonic game. I consider this false advertising. Look, even the dark story option is shadowed front and center. Heck, Rouge is upstanding Eggman. Well, at the very least, Iron Gate is a solid level that did a good job of setting up the game's atmosphere and the type of obstacles you'll encounter in these stages, even if it did drag at times, especially during those elevator segments. I swear, this level would be so much easier if I had some sort of hover ability. Foreshadowing. At the end of the stage, I got ranked on my performance, and this is the first game in the series to introduce the ranking system. It pretty much speaks for itself in how it works, and is key to 100% in the game. And well, you can guess how this goes for some of the more taxing stages. Freaking Route 280 missions! So anyway, with the level cleared, Eggman discovers a secret lying hidden within the base. Shadow the Hedgehog, who Eggman mistakes for Sonic at first, but then quickly corrects himself, though no one else throughout the entire story does this despite the fact that one is clearly blue and the other is black. I mean, who would be so stupid to get someone's identity wrong despite having a completely different color scheme?
Blazing Knight, what are you doing? You're supposed to be working on the review of the game!
I'm over here, dude.
Is that you, Sonic? Are you trying to spoil my plans again?
Anyway, it's here we have our first boss battle, and it's a pretty good fight, though the camera does sometimes get in the way, and can make lining up shots a bit of a hassle, but aside from that, it's cool. And with the boss defeated, Shadow tells Eggman to gather more Chaos Emeralds and meet him aboard the Space Colony Ark. Now, oddly enough, we go to the hero's second level. And Darkside's.
They happen simultaneously. So what happens is Knuckles is doing his full-time job of protecting the Master Emerald. However, Rouge feels entitled to all of the world's gems, so she comes to pick it up real quick. And so did Eggman. Knuckles figures that the easiest way to stop the emerald from getting stolen is to punch it into a billion pieces that spread across the world, and then to just go collect the pieces real quick and reassemble it. The first three to get are here in Wild Canyon, and I enjoy this level. It's super compact, so finding the shards is a blast. It's fun, and it's fast. And collecting animals for Chows is easy. I even got my little guy a dragon. Oh yeah, by the way, Blazing Knight, retracing a Chow to compete after this is all over. Some arbitrary criteria I'll decide later. Don't worry though, I'm taking real good care of yours. Hey, that was for Pinky!
Oh really? Well then, I better head to Dry Lagoon and pick up some food for Chaz. Why Chaz? Because 90s! Dry Lagoon is a pretty good starting level for Rouge. It looks very nice, has enough space to let you move about freely, and it helps that Rouge controls very well and is easy to get the hang of. And I have got to talk about the soundtrack for a moment. While I still don't think it's as good as Adventure 1's, let me finish. I've really grown to appreciate Rouge's jazz-style music. It's very easy on the ears and works great in just about every level, so props to the soundtrack on this one. So as of now, everything seems par for the course, but there's one huge issue with this level and pretty much every emerald hunting stage in Sonic Adventure 2, the radar system. In the first Sonic Adventure, the radar will glow a certain colour depending on how close you were to each piece, allowing you to find any piece at any given time. In this case, however, the system has been changed for the worst, as now you can only detect one piece at a time. I mean, just look, I'm standing right next to the emerald, but it's not the one the game wants me to find. So often you find yourself going back and forth trying to find all the pieces, which can make these stages drag out and really mess you up when trying to get the A rank. And according to Chet's timeline, I have the next level as well. And it's Sand Ocean. This level has Eggman going inside his hidden base located within a pyramid, yet for some reason there are gun robots here trying to stop him. Strange. Anyway, this level has a lot of puzzle and platforming elements, which is kind of cool, but the biggest enemy you will face in this level is the control. While I still find Shadow and Rouge to control great, Eggman feels very heavy and trying to move in any direction that isn't a straight line feels awkward and stiff. Because of this, platforming can be a pain, and in this level in particular, you die instantly from falling into the sand, which is very easy to do, mind you, especially when the enemies knock you back. I will say once you get the hover ability, this level becomes much better, and you can appreciate its more puzzle-oriented approach, but for the first time round, this level is a pain.
Now I get to talk about the best level and song in the whole dang game. No! Games in general. City Escape! Rolling around at the speed of sound. The second after that opening guitar lick, Sonic's board hits the San Francisco streets and we are rolling down a hill pulling off magnificent tricks. I head up these stairs, take out some robots, and then sprint down more San Francisco roads. Follow me. Set me free, Golden Beetle. Trust me and we will escape from the city. High octane sprint down the face of a building. Woo! What the frick is that? It's the boss, and I really don't care about him. See, I have this map memorized, and I can pull a trick off of a ramp I didn't even see coming. Man, Sonic stages are fun. How about Shadow stages?
Oh, that's right! I finally get one of those! Well, Chet, all I can say is that this is the highlight of the Dark Side playthrough, because Radical Highway is beyond amazing. The sensor speed is great, the action is non-stop, the atmosphere and energy is immense, the track playing pumps you up for this high-octane thrill ride, there's even different pathways you can take and find hidden goodies. Honestly, this stage is just tops and it's the best in the game. At least for the Dark Side story.
After that stage, I need to fight the Bigfoot, and I fought him so many times that I can get him to die all glitchified. After that, Sonic and Shadow have a real heart-to-heart. Shadow is the criminal, but Sonic's left holding the bag. I guess that Eggman's not the only colorblind idiot around here. So while I'm hauled off to prison, Blazing Knight gets to play one of Rouge's stages.
It seems Rouge has found a way into Eggman's base, and it's here where not only do you have to find keys instead of emerald pieces, because apparently Eggman just leaves them lying around, but we also get the pick nails, even though they're clearly boots. Something about this seems off. Anyway, with these we can now dig underground and in walls, and we're going to need them since for the rest of the game, this is where the majority of emerald pieces will be found. As for the level itself, it's a bit more boxed in and cramped than what we're used to, but it's still perfectly serviceable, and much better than the Hero Side version. By the way, have fun with that, chat. Anyway, moving on to another Eggman stage, we've got Lost Colony. A rather basic and bare bones level, but the atmosphere is nice, and it's here where we get the hover boot, which allows us to glide short distances, making platforming easier. Though we never really do use them to hover. Kind of false advertising if you think about it, but I guess gliding boots doesn't roll off the tongue so well. Once the level is complete, we meet Shadow, who explains to us the purpose of the Space Colony Ark and the ultimate weapon contained inside, the Eclipse Cannon, a weapon capable of destroying an entire planet once reactivated. However, we need all 7 Chaos Emeralds to do so. This is actually pretty hefty stuff for a Sonic game. I mean, granted, the plot isn't perfect and tons of people have pointed out the flaws in this story, but there's a real sense of scope and danger to this narrative, and it's probably why people remember it so fondly. Also, Rouge just so happens to show up and joins up with the gang, effectively making them Team Dark.
Actually, dude, that's this game.
Oh, my bad. In this case, Team Anti-Sonic?
That's perfect!
Moving on, next up the team head to Prison Island in order to collect the Chaos Emeralds and then blow up the place once they're done. When did this suddenly turn into a heist game? Well, Eggman is up to bat with Weapons Bed, one of the best shooting levels in the game. This is such an action-packed and blood-pumping level, with stuff constantly being thrown at you and an abundance of enemies to fight, most of which is stationary, allowing you to rack up multiple kills and earn those sweet bonus points. I mean, these things are just radical, awesome, and extreme! Anyway, I need a break. Chet, you play some of this game now.
No, I paid for those burritos.
Chet, get up, it's your turn!
Huh? Oh, right. And Blazing Knight, are you telling me to call out Anita Sarkeesian?
What? No.
Okay, I'll do that.
No!
No, it's good. It's good. Okay, so in every series of why video games are the devil incarnate, Anita says that video games are sexist because Amy is just Sonic with a bow on her hair, and that women are always set free from prison by men, and that men are never set free. You know, they set themselves free. Well, let me show one scene to prove it all. See, so Amy set Sonic free, and also she always has her spines combed back. She might not even have spines. Oh.
What are you doing, dude? You're supposed to be talking about Tails' level before this.
Yeah. Actually, that makes a lot more sense. I'll do that. So, I actually like Eggman and Tails levels. I think they're a lot of fun. I mean, this level, not so much, but pretty much every other level, awesome. The small corridors here are just awful. I mean, there are a few rooms where I can pull off some cool stuff, but honestly, there aren't as many awesome combos to get as there were on Weapons Bed. I mean, I did get an extreme near the end, but I don't care for this level. I do, however, care for the next level, Metal Harbor. After Sonic escapes, he goes for one of the funnest running levels ever, and I know all the tricks on this level. You see, on this level you get the light dash boots, but I can make it to the shoes without the boots because of the spin dash. Woo! I also knock one of the planes out of the sky, and I know about this, a single solitary ring. Who put this here, and why? After that, I rushed to the tippity top of the rocket. So while all this fun was happening, Rouge was actually stealing Chaos Emeralds. Why does the dark side even want all of these? Are you guys like starting up a jewelry store or something?
Yeah, it's a bit more complicated than that. But yes, the objective of this level is to collect 3 Chaos Emeralds within 5 minutes. It would have been 15 minutes, but then Rouge just had to get cocky, and thus, we've got one of the worst treasure hunting stages in the game. I mean, it's not awful, there's a lot of cool puzzle elements here, but the size of the stage combined with the time limit, butchered radar system, and the method of acquiring some of these emeralds makes for a very trial and error level, and overall just not really a great time. Once Rouge acquires the emerald, she runs into the final gun robot, Flying Dog, who I guess is supposed to be the hardest version to fight, but since I'm Rouge and I can climb and glide, this boss goes down with ease. Unfortunately for us though, Rouge got herself locked inside the safe, and now it's Shadow's job to get her out. Some world famous treasure hunter she turned out to be. Well, at the very least we get another Shadow stage, and it is sweet! Once again, there's a great sense of speed, many alternate routes to reach the goal, high speed action, a very nice looking atmosphere, and a song that sounds cool even if I can't make out the words. Seriously, just what exactly are they saying? And then Sonic and Shadow fight.
I think this is a pretty nifty fight, but Shadow was too clever for me. I'm supposed to jump into his back, but I really wanted to use the spin dash, and the guy matadored me! He stood in front of the one area without fence. Curse you! No! Shadow, come on, please! Let me back on the stage, man! Let me back on the stage!
This fight really isn't much. I mean, character battles in Adventure 1 were dreadful, and in this game they're definitely better, but not by much, mainly due to the crappy AI and incredibly jerky camera.
So in the next cutscene, Eggman calls up Shadow to tell him that the island is about to blow up.
Blows up?
and Sonic has 8 minutes to get the frickety frack out of there, which is like an eternity. If you can reach it in 4 minutes, you automatically get an A rank, so whatever. I don't care for this level because it's so glitchy. There are tons of times when the game went into autopilot, and since I was pressing the analog stick forward, I just sprinted into the sea. After that, the island blows up and I'm transported to Pumpkin Hill! I love this level. Knuckles thrives in levels where he can glide and climb. This level's just a bunch of tall mountains. Nothing but gliding and climbing for our boy. Oh, and that song!
To me, I'm just gonna creep down in Pumpkin Hill. I got to find my little speeds. I know that it's here. I can sense it in my feet. The great emerald's power allows me to feel. I can't see a thing, but it's around somewhere. I'm gonna hold my head because I have no fear.
But I didn't use any clues for this level, so I was stuck here for over 6 minutes.
Not bad, huh?
What? No! I got to listen to the Pumpkin Hill song for over 6 minutes! This level also gave me the digging gloves and skeleton dogs! Digging gloves means that I can get Pinky a pumpkin, and the dogs means that he'll put it on like a mask. Now he looks just like the headless horse guy. Meanwhile, Tails is just shooting it up on Mission Street. This is one of those really good levels I was talking about. I was racking up a huge score, but alas, right at the goal ring, they dropped an overpass on Tails' head. Oh, I was so mad I considered cussing. Because Tails died from force trauma.
Why did I collab with you again?
And then there was a Knuckles level.
Let's take a dive in aquatic mind. Once was a cold pit, but now it's a water ride.
So anyway, Eggman has the Death Star and he blew up the moon just to prove a point. Then he told the Earth that they need to make him the Supreme Chancellor or else, you know, he'll do to the country what he just did to the moon. So Tails chases down the president in a fun driving section. What is going on? We catch up to the president and then tell him that Sonic and the gang are on the case.
We need to build a wall, and it has to be built quickly.
Meanwhile, the dark side has 6 of the 7 emeralds, and they just need 1 more to have a complete collection. And they learn that Tails just so happens to have it, so there's a 2-part chase. One is in Route 280, where Rouge chases Tails for a while, and then Shadow chases him in Skyrail. Route 280 is another driving level, and it's pretty competent all things considered. It controls well, the track design, while basic, gets the job done, and it can be fun. At least for just a normal run. Don't get me started on how much this level sucks when doing the extra missions, but that's not the point of this video. Once Rouge catches up to Tails, we're back in control of Shadow, and while this is great and all, I find Skyrail to be Shadow's worst level. Now don't get me wrong, it's still an overall good level, but most of it is simply grind runs between you and certain death, and while fast paced, it's also very short and a bit forgettable. But hey, at least we get the light speed attack. This thing was great in Sonic Adventure, and I can't wait to see what it's like in this game.
So the next level is a Tails level, and this is a really fun one. I love the Egyptian aesthetic, and I love killing Eggman's robots because they have straight up animals inside of them instead of the stupid Chow drives. And I need animals because they're gonna level Pinky up. Yes, Chow, suck the life from that worthless creature so that you may become strong. Then there's a Sonic level. I hear that people hate on this level, but I like it. It's a Sonic level and you get the bounce bracelet, which just makes the game a bunch of fun. You hit switches to open the doors, and it's just like that part in Sonic and Knuckles. Sure, you need to carry keys to open up doors, but I mean, it doesn't really break up the flow of the level. I don't know, I like this level. Now it's Knuckles' turn to help them break in the Death Chamber is probably my least favorite Knuckles level. I mean, every other level I have a mental map of, but here I just get lost all the time and there's nowhere to glide. But I do love the boss battle against the ghost, especially his sounds. Eggman summons this Pharaoh dude to fight Sonic, and it's a pretty fun fight. All I need to do is dodge his massive fists, and then I can run around to the back, hop to the top, and break the restraint. Haha! Okay, have fun with that, Blaze. I'm going to space.
I still question how that works. Anyway, this battle is pretty much the same as Sonic's, only not as fast paced and not as fun. So all I can say is, meh.
Meanwhile, up in outer space, all of Knuckles' emerald shards get scattered. That means both of us get to go collect some.
Oh no.
Oh yes! You see, Meteor Herd isn't that bad. Cool song, cool low gravity, and flying. I love using the drill dive for long amounts of times. I found my shards quickly here, but if you want to hear about a well-designed level, Blazing Knight will tell you all about Mad Space.
Screw this fucking level! Without a doubt in my mind, this is the worst level in the entire game. In fact, it may be one of the worst in the series. I mean, not only is this level huge and split up into various planets, making tracking down the emeralds rather annoying, but 2 of the planets have their own gravitational fields, gimping your controls and making gliding so awkward, and this time around, the hint system is reversed, because I guess the developers were having a really bad day. Add to this all the problems with emerald stages in general, and this level ends up being so boring and just dreadful. And I hate you, Chet, for forcing me to play the Dark Side story just so you can avoid this hell.
Well, after that, Tails needs to clear out the Space Colony Ark. And in this level, there are a lot of nasty tricks and ways to die. I like that you can blow off these locks and be sucked out into space. Mainly because I didn't get sucked out. And I got all those precious points. I mean, I wish I had so I could show you how unfair the level is, but if it didn't happen to me, it must not be that unfair.
So, how do we wash out the taste of the worst level in the game? By playing Eggman's best level. Seriously, Cosmic Wall is such a great level and a lot of fun, mainly thanks to the low gravity that allows you to temporarily fly, giving you a lot more freedom and getting rid of most of the control issues, not to mention just being a really fun, action-packed level with loads of charm to it.
So, Sonic has this fake emerald, and if he pops it into the console, it'll self-destruct and save the world. But Amy and Tails are in trouble. Okay, Sonic, pop it in and then go save them. No, pop it in. Sonic, why didn't you pop it in? Sonic! Okay, Crazy Gadget sucks. Just the upside down sections mess with the controls. I especially hate the outdoor section. I mean, I didn't die on it, but that's because I moved slowly and methodically. Cause that's why I play Sonic games, to move slowly and precisely, like a gosh dang Fire Emblem game. So I show up and Eggman kills Sonic. Okay, he didn't really die because he used Chaos Control, which I thought was just slowing down time, but Sonic used it to teleport to the final level, which is long and hectic. I died like 17 times. This isn't quite as bad as Crazy Gadget, but I'm not a huge fan. I mean, there are some cool points where I can jump to skip huge portions of the level, but overall, tons of death just isn't my cup of tea.
Well, you're not the only one who doesn't like dying a lot, because Final Rush could be just as bad, especially since this level's gimmick is rotating cylinders that Shadow sticks to and has to use them to reach the end. While you can get used to these, they do mess up your jumps and it's easy to lose control and go careening into enemies and hazards, not to mention just send you straight to your death. Oh yeah, that's fair. But with that said, this level is very intense and very epic, so despite the setbacks, it's not the worst thing in the world.
And then Sonic and Shadow have a fight at maximum velocity, and I love this fight. It's so perfect. You're running at high speeds, taking out blows at one another when it's convenient for you, all while the ground is falling out from behind you. It's an awesome fight.
Agreed. This is a great fight, as it makes the best use out of the scenario and the action is constant. It never gets dull and it's a perfect fight for Sonic and Shadow, and I'm very glad they brought this back to Generations.
After that, somehow both stories end with Eggman getting the last Chaos Emerald and snapping it into the machine. But there was some April's tricks going on, because Eggman's grandpappy, Gerald Robotnik, who created Shadow, also created a way to kill everyone ever. You remember the dinosaurs? Yeah, same principle. And we have 22 minutes to make that not happen. And to do that, we gotta
get together and make things better by working together.
And now I'm Tails, a neat mechanic with stopping time to despawn lasers, get combos on inanimate objects, then we get to the end and I just gotta find a way to get up to the door and blast it open.
Eggman then takes over, and his part is pretty much the same as Tails' one, so there isn't much else to say here. Moving on. Next up is Rouge, whose level is about draining the liquid in order to access the waterway. This part is more puzzle based, but I like it. It makes good use out of Rouge's abilities, and this time you're actually trying to reach the objective rather than just look for stuff, so it's far more fast paced and energetic.
Now that Rouge has flooded the room, I get to swim through the area, which I think is such a cool idea. You get to revisit a level, but now it plays completely differently. Well, kind of. You're not supposed to spend much time where Rouge was. I mean, I did, and it really hurt the overall time. Also, I really like what they did on this level. You see, I need to swim through this sand water, and there are these heavy currents that are impossible to swim through. All I gotta do is freeze time, and then I can beat the current. Ooh, but I gotta grab that seal. Now it's time for Sonic. It's quick, a few puzzles that uses the time freeze mechanic, but then it's all finished off with a slide section.
Right as Sonic and friends reach the end, the prototype for the ultimate life form appears in the form of the Bio-Lizard. However, Shadow isn't fond of what he started out as, and thus he decides to take this thing head on. And I've got to tell you, this is a tough fight. If anyone has seen my top 10 Banes of my childhood video, you'd know just how much crap this thing gave me growing up, and even now he can be rather challenging, but the fight is really epic and cool. Plus the music, scenario and so on make this one of the most memorable moments in the game.
But he's not dead yet. The lizard is taking control of the ship from the outside and is still piloting it towards Earth.
So we harness the power of the Chaos Emeralds and become Super Saiyan versions of Sonic and Shadow. And then we get a boss fight with the greatest song of all.
City Escape.
Okay, the second greatest song of all.
Pumpkin Hill.
Alright, we get a boss fight with a radical song playing as we fight through space in super forms. Is there anything not cool about this fight?
Well, it is kinda easy. You can beat it in under a minute if you know what you're doing. I mean, the fight before this was much harder, but it still sets you up for an amazing power trip.
So we finish the fight, and then Sonic and Shadow, using the power of the Chaos Emeralds, put the space station back into orbit.
But Shadow overexerted himself and...
Clearly I will go sailing no more.
So, that's Sonic Adventure 2 battle. Did I look at this game with one of the foggiest pairs of nostalgia goggles on? You betcha! I absolutely love this game and all 3 gameplay styles. I played it in middle school and got all 180 emblems, so I don't think I can give this a fair assessment, but, Blazing Knight, do you think you can give, a more balanced look at the game?
To this day, Sonic Adventure 2 stands as one of the greatest in the franchise and one of the most loved games by the fans. While Sonic Adventure 2 hasn't aged very well, and many online reviewers have pointed out just how flawed this game is, I feel it does far more good than bad. The speed stages are wonderful, the mech stages are fun, the treasure hunting stages are admittedly hit or miss, but they still have their moments. Add to this one of the greatest soundtracks in the franchise, great controls, no pointless hardboiled or silly gimmicks, and a story that, while flawed, is a ton of fun to experience, and you've got a recipe for one of the Blue Blood's greatest outings in the 3rd dimension. Not to mention, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle is home to the best multiplayer in any Sonic game. Yes, even games like All-Stars Racing and Battle don't compare to Sonic Adventure 2's multiplayer. It's so much fun to play. You can race, hunt for emeralds, or shoot each other to pieces. There are special attacks, loads of stages to choose from, extra characters to play as. Honestly, this game's multiplayer is some of the best on the GameCube, and I never get tired of it.
Have you ever wanted to play as Chaos or Tikal? No, actually it did not, because that means you're intentionally playing treasure hunting levels. But the races are a ton of fun.
Without a doubt, they are the best parts of the multiplayer, even if it is unbalanced. I'm looking at you, Amy, you and your 20-second time stop. Dirty cheater. Thankfully, mech shooting is more fair.
Oh yeah, the mech fights are a blast. I mean, you get to shoot homing missiles and that awesome Kamehameha! I love it. Honestly, these games aren't the most robust multiplayer, but it can supply some fun. Of course, the mech fights don't supply the best extra characters, just the Dark and Light Chow. Oh, wait, Chow, I nearly forgot! Alright, Blazing Knight, both of our Chows have been perfected for battle. Also, how is this game rated E? The Dark Chow Garden's water is just a pool of blood. Sonic Adventure 2, mild fantasy violence, mild lyrics, and blood and gore. Peggy 18.
Alright, so the Chows are all trained up. What are the stakes, Chet?
Okay, so I thought long and hard, and I've decided that whoever loses the karate match has to admit that the other person's favorite Sonic soundtrack is superior.
Alright then, But I'll warn you, Chaz is no pushover. Pinky's gonna have a hard time making him ring out. Come on, Chaz, come on, you can do this, come on, come on, you're the best, you can't be the, no different than 90s, you're the greatest, come on, awesome, Chaz, you can do it, go, go, go. What happened?
GameCube caught on fire?
No, it didn't. Chet, you were losing.
Oh, sorry. The Blazing Knight caught on fire. I guess that's why they called him Blazing Knight.
It's my fault you lost, Pinky. I just didn't give you the freedom you needed. I was just too much of a helicopter parent.
Well, that's the best joke I'm ever gonna tell. You can go ahead and unsubscribe. I mean, I'm gonna keep making videos, but that was the best joke that I'm ever gonna make. What was that? Blazing Knight? But how?
Casual mode, bitch.
What? No! No!
This has been Heemin Gaming Sonic Month, and he will return with more Wednesday episodes and Sonic Mania video in September. As for me, well, I've still got a lot of Echoes videos to do, but expect a few surprises thrown in here and there. Anyway, this has been Blazing Knight. I wish you all a great night, take care, and Chet, it was a blast working with you on this video.
Right back at you, buddy! Man, you need to do a face reveal or something.
30,000 subs, dude.
Looking forward to it. See you later, everyone!